Y is being very innovative in how they're using it, though. So that's Generation X. Now, let's hear a little bit from you about Generation Y. What are your thoughts on Generation Y? All the Generation Ys are being real quiet right now. I'm staying out of this. These people have never said anything nice to me since I've been in the workforce. They what?
They're difficult to manage.
Difficult to manage, okay. Now, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with everything. I just want to hear your thoughts.
Connected.
They're definitely connected. Yep. Multitasking, yep. Yep. Now, there's a challenge with that. Is that perception that they are multitaskers, and they are in that they do a lot. The challenge is that the quality of what they do is definitely a challenge. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe they can't. Absolutely, you're right, because they're changing the English language. Yeah. Yep. In emails, you might see things like LOL, LMAO, and OMG, and and we consider it inappropriate, but to them, it's just an expression of language. Mm-hmm.
Socially driven.
It's very socially driven. Yep. Socially driven from the perspective of interacting with other people, as well as socially driven from the perspective of trying to change the world. And a firm belief that they as an individual can change the world. The U.S. Army changed their entire campaign for Generation Y. Remember Be All You Can Be? Everybody remembers that except Generation Y, right? Be All You Can Be. Now it's what? Army of one. Army of one. You can change the world one person. One person can change the world. Okay. Let's take a deeper look at this generation. Tech savvy, no doubt about that. We probably don't even need to talk about it. As I speak, most of them are probably text messaging in the room. Okay? Socially conscious, we did talk about that. Overprogrammed. Okay? Overprogrammed. Their parents have scheduled them to death. Okay? After school, they've got karate practice. After karate practice, they got football. After football, they got glee club. After glee club, they got Bible study. After Bible study, they've got a massage. After the massage, baby boomers, you're driving us crazy. You neglected us Generation Xers, and you're spoiling our sisters and brothers. They're overscheduled. And that overscheduling actually is moving into the workforce today too. And that's why they are the way they are. Now, when I say they are the way they are, I'm not saying that in a derogatory way at all. Because there's a lot of potential in this generation, an extreme amount of potential. I said that the Generation X was moving every 3 to 5 years. Generation Y has parallel careers, meaning that they're working for you, but they're also building their business. Maybe 2 or 3 businesses on the side. So they have parallel careers. Generation X, 3 to 5 years. Generation Y moves from job to job 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, you remember one of the things on the video showed that I think it was by age 38, they will have 13 different jobs by age 38. Okay. A traditional generation looks at that and like, 13? I didn't have 13 my entire life. I may have had 2. And baby boomers like, I may have had 4. But yeah, 13. They're jugglers. Somebody in the back had said multitasking, and they're used to doing that multitasking. The challenge that we have with this generation is that because they've been scheduled to death by their parents, they don't know how to manage their time themselves. So time management can become a big issue for them. Now, is that a problem that you can't solve as a manager? Absolutely not. You definitely can solve that problem. Some of the great things that come from this generation is their focus on the technology. That focus on the technology is their drive towards efficiency. They're always looking for a faster, better way to do something because they don't want wasting their biggest commodity, their time. Their time is the most valuable thing to them in the world, more valuable than anything else in their life. And if you're giving them tasks that are occupying their time and not meaningful tasks, then you're going to start to lose that generation. Now, does that mean let them get their way? Absolutely not. But it does mean that they need some coaching, okay, and they need some development. They're adaptable to change, unlike any of the other 2 generations. Generation X is similar to them in that adaptability to change because of the technology. They're eager to try new technology. You have something new going on at the work site, they want to be the first ones to do it, to use it, to get involved with it. They can become your greatest assets and your greatest advocates in that regard to managing change. Okay? There's a lot of value in that generation, but like I said before, they just need to be managed appropriately. And part of that management of that generation is not looking at it from the perspective of, oh, these are problem kids. coming my way. They come with all kinds of problems, and they want to text message all day, and they want to be with their friends more than they want to work. They actually want to work. You just have to give them a reason to want to do it. Okay, you have to give them a reason why the job they're doing is important. If they feel that the value of their job is trivial, you're going to lose their interest, and they're going to jump to another company. Okay? And all the money you've invested in training them is going to jump to that company with them. So you can't afford to not find some degree of accommodation for this generation. Enterprise Rent-A-Car started noticing a trend that in their interview process, parents were starting to come into the interview. Okay? Some of you are looking at me like, huh? I would never let a parent come to the interview with their kid. And to me, that's telling me the kid has no responsibility. Enterprise said, I'm not going to think like that. Enterprise said, you know what? We need to bring that parental network into the workforce for these Generation Ys. And what they did was they created a Bring Your Parent to Work Day. Okay? And they thought nobody would do it. Well, almost 60% of their workforce, Generation Y, brought their parents to work. And the parents wanted to come to work. They wanted to see where their kids were working. The tie between the parent and the Gen Y is a tight tie, which as a corporation, you shouldn't try to break it. Because let's think about this for a moment. How many of you would love if employees would work for you for free? Be a great thing, wouldn't it, right? Well, here you have a Generation Y who wants to bring his parent to work, not because he wants somebody to cuddle him or her. He's bringing him to work because he knows that his parents know a lot and they can help him succeed. How about having that on your payroll? Wouldn't that be awesome to have their parents not on your payroll, but to have that talent to tap into, but not have it on your payroll? Okay? The enterprise is smart, really unique in that respect, really unique. So give that some thought. I showed you a few things on how the workforce is changing, how people are changing, how perceptions are changing. All this dynamic is creating some challenges, but also creating some incredible opportunities for us. Don't look at the negative things and say, oh, this is going to be a problem. I need to avoid hiring this generation until everybody's retired and I have no choice but to hire this generation. Instead, really tap into what their talent is, where their true talent is. They're misunderstood often, especially when we start thinking of things like work ethic. It's not a lack of a work ethic, it's just a different set of values that they have. Understand their values and you'll build advocacy. Build advocacy, you'll get performance. Okay? But you have to be the one to do that. They don't know how to do it. They're just coming into the workforce. They need your help to get there. But it's an untapped force that you should want to welcome into your workforce.